hate puppies.
Good podcast.
We're good. Thank you. That was
I feel threatened.
officially doing work.
Weren't we talking?
I thought we were already talking pre-game, but
The fucked up thing is you can talk through that and we can hear it, but that doesn't mean that it's actually one of the live channels.
Gotcha.
This thing's complicated like that. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, the only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems and hopefully helping you figure out what beer or food you should be eating this weekend. This weekend, it's going to be beer.
Funny how it has slid right back into that.
Hey, last week we didn't do beer.
True.
I'm trying.
I told many a person about that, and by many I mean probably three. But like I was like, hey, this stuff was pretty damn good.
They're down there.
Yeah.
Treat yourself, boys. They are tasty. I found myself, no joke, doing exactly what they were designed to do, at least for
Mixing them in.
someone who's a drinker like me, like wanted to keep drinking. I was getting towards the end of the night, and I thought, I could use one more. And then I was like, or I could go grab one of them hoppy-ass refreshers. I came out here, was grabbing them over the weekend. Just, sip on one.
That's
They're
a great
tasty.
thing to have before, right as your last drink. Make that just for hydration.
Yeah, because the truth is, my last drink, nightcaps in general are dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's always
That
when-
last one's usually the one that's like the seal, the stamp of like, you're going to regret this.
Because you rarely go with like a light beer as your last drink. You
Yeah.
go, well, it is the final one. How about a triple fucking bourbon?
Let me pour this one heavy.
Yeah. And you make a heavy ass one, and then you find yourself drooling and then having to rewatch whatever you were watching the next day.
Yep.
Doesn't work out. But this time, I grabbed a refresher,
Nice.
and I didn't have to rewatch anything.
Look at you growing up.
I am. Thank you, Troy.
What did you watch?
That night, I should know the answer to this. Oh, you know what I was watching? White Lotus. I just discovered White Lotus.
Is that a Max show?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've heard a lot about that show lately, and we do not have Max, but everybody swears it's like the greatest show that ever showed.
It's not the greatest show.
It's fun.
It's a good show. It's a good show, but it's a throwaway.
Uh-huh.
Like, you're never going to be like, I don't know, it's either Sopranos or the White Lotus. Like, no, White Lotus is... Here's what I like about it. Every season starts, and those opening scenes, the first 5 minutes, something unfolds. Whether it's fucking a dead body is found or something happens, and then they go, after the peak of all the chaos, they say, 1 week before. Mm-hmm. And then it rewinds because everyone shows up at the resort for a 1 week stint.
Gotcha.
So then it follows the staff of the resort and that particular grouping of guests. And then you see how it culminates. And then as it starts to unfold, it's damn near like a murder mystery because you start to get little hints. You're like, oh, that could be why that happened. Oh, well, that could be why that happened. And the whole time... it's
Sounds kind of interesting.
But it's funny, too, in its own way.
Oh, okay.
Like, so it's a little bit sexual. Like, you see some weird
That
sexual
never hurts.
shit. Yeah, but I always thought it was a fuck show. The kind of thing you like catch a beat to late at night and then turn it off,
Do those shows...
No, but in my mind they do.
Yeah.
Like, how I still believe these things exist in the
Yeah.
world, but there is no Emmanuel.
Well, that's what people used to sell me on. They'd be like, you got to watch Game of Thrones because there's nudity in it. I'm like, yeah, this isn't the only place to find nudity anymore. Like, back in the day, you watched the show for that because
Yeah.
that was your only access.
That was it. In fact, I thought Game of Thrones, I've told this before, but listeners come and go. The first time I watched Game of Thrones, it was season 1. I just happened to catch an episode, and Littlefinger had these two like whores, and they were teaching each other how to pleasure each other and different things, and he was talking about it, and then they went over and they fucked, and I got a hard on. I beat off,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, so this is one of them throwaway fuck shows. And I never watched it again because I was like, it's a fuck show. Because then I'm sitting there in my like refractory period.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not interested anymore.
I don't want to watch this stupid fucking show, I was like, I'm not doing this. So I never watched it. My wife watched it for years, and I was like, you're just watching smut.
Yeah.
And then I watched it one day, and I binged the whole first season. And then I saw that little scene happen, and I go, boy, I really caught it at like a moment. Like a really specific sexual moment.
Was that the best scene of the first?
It was the most sexual scene
Of the first season?
I just
Nice.
happened to catch it and went, oh, it's one of these beat-off shows. So I just never watched it.
Because your brain has been wired for that.
I'm a lizard.
It was HBO. It was late at night.
Late at
Yeah.
night.
Instinctual.
Yeah, it's checking all the boxes, literally.
Yeah, because when we were young, it was like Dream On or like
yeah.
Real Sex.
Yeah.
Like you'd see that stuff on HBO, and that's what you did.
Yeah,
And you were trained to it.
yeah, for sure.
So I was like, oh, okay, it's that. And I moved on. Turns out it's a great show. Great show. Really good. Actually, I'd put it up there near The Sopranos. Not as high, but it's up there. It was pretty good. White Lotus is not that, but it's a tasty treat. I've binged it. I've watched 2 seasons in the
Did you
last
ever
2
rewatch
weeks.
Sopranos?
I did during COVID.
Does that hold up?
Yeah.
Exceptionally well.
Really?
Yeah. In fact,
Because I would think that if I remember correctly, and I had this feeling while I was watching Breaking Bad, some of those episodes were just long and drawn out.
That's called the bottle episode.
Bottle?
That's a thing. Long series that have a huge budget or whatever. They have a budget.
you just put a backstory episode in, kind of thing.
Oh, it's more like they'll film everything on one set with the same 2 characters for the entire time because the budget for that episode is minimal, and it lets them save the rest of their budget for bigger things.
Gotcha.
Oh, look at that.
And it's called the Bottle episode because.
I used to know that. I don't
Okay. Thanks for clearing it up.
Well, you said it confidently, so I'm willing to accept it.
Like I remember, I don't know why, but one of the episodes I remember from Sopranos, I don't remember which year or any of that stuff, season, but like it was like a whole episode following his annoying mom around, like bebopping around her house, and I was like, this is awful.
Yeah, it's character development.
Yeah, that's what all the nerds tell you. And like Breaking Bad would do like shots of like a car driving across the desert for 10 miles, and you're like, okay, I understand.
Yellowstone's famous for
Yes,
that too. Like
yes.
they'll be like, you know what, we got to kill 2 minutes. How about horses running?
Yep.
And they'll just show that shit, and you go, yeah, that's cool. But what they did was got you.
Yeah.
For like 2 to 5 minutes of just nothing,
They're taking a 30-minute show and turning it into an hour-long show.
just stretching it.
Yeah.
out, stretching it. out.
But they do it beautifully too, which is like the chef's kiss artistic touch. Like it's not just
Oh, of course, it's gorgeous.
it's not just horses running around. It's like in slow motion in the sunset
With
you
the
know?
right music.
Exactly.
It's like,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's well done. I'll give them that. But sometimes they use those little cutaways for like character development. It's like you understand something. And I think the best example of that I ever saw. You ever watch The Bear?
Yes.
So there was one episode in season 1 of The Bear where everything's taking place in the restaurant and in and around the
Is
restaurant.
that the one with no cuts? That episode with no cuts?
I don't know. It was the Thanksgiving episode.
Oh yes. No, that's a different.
Like out of nowhere,
That
they
one,
took
yeah.
all the characters, they jumped to a flashback, they stuck them in the
Thanksgiving dinner.
Thanksgiving dinner.
Have you seen the show, Dave?
The
And-
comedy that no one laughs at.
Yeah, the best
Is it
comedy.
supposed to be a comedy?
It won best comedy.
It won best comedy because they entered it as a comedy, but it's clearly not.
It's not.
It's drama.
It's heavy. Yeah.
It maybe leans dramedy at best,
Yeah.
but the D is way bigger than the C.
Well, I mean, every drama has a laugh. I mean, you're not.
Yeah, but somehow it won best comedy, which clearly, if it fits in the comedy category, it's the
Yeah.
best show, but it's because it's a drama. But that Thanksgiving episode
That was a great one.
did so much, broke from everything they'd been doing, stuck us in that moment in time. We watched that, and all of us came away with a far greater understanding
of why everyone's the way they
the
are.
whole family dynamic, and it was the best cutaway episode I'd ever seen in modern television.
Yeah.
Pretty brilliant. Now I love The Bear. From that moment forward, I was like, this show is amazing.
Yeah. It
Up
is a
till
good
then,
show.
I was like, it's good. It's well done.
I got kind of tired of it.
Season 2 was not very good. Season 3 came back hard. It was really
I don't
good.
think I've seen season 3.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm back. Can't wait to break off of this White Lotus and Severance binge I've been on. Which Severance is
It's
just,
just too much good stuff to watch, honestly.
What were you about to say about Severance?
I'm just all up to speed, and I'm still just like, what are you doing to me? You're not. This last episode sucked my ass the whole time. I was like, this sucks. Can't wait for the next one.
Are they in the second half of the second season now?
Yeah, I'm up to date currently.
But I didn't know if there was a big gap between.
No, I don't know that there's. Oh, that's right. You said there was a gap coming, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm not. No, I have not gotten to the big gap, and maybe it's coming. Actually, this could have been the cliffhanger right here, but I think we have to get one more. We have to get back into that dude's brain. It's a stupid ass show. It really is, but
It's awesome.
Work's kicking the crap out of me, so I don't care to watch a work show.
it's not. But it is.
But it is. Yeah.
I heard that was the most expensive show on TV right now. Like each episode costs more than any other.
Is that because of the characters? Because I'm assuming it's not like a sci-fi show that's like
Literally
doing trippy.
half the scenes are white walls and cubicles. I'm
Yeah.
like, how does this cost money? And people going up and down halls, unless they actually built all these halls, which I doubt they did.
It's all the big names on it, right?
There's some big names, but it's nothing. No, I don't understand why this is the most expensive show, unless they're using a camera that like from Avatar.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I'm not impressed, and I can't stop. Go watch White Lotus.
That sounds fun.
Way better. Go back and watch the Winning Time with the Lakers show. That's something fun. I've been watching too much TV late at night.
There's actually a new show on Netflix called Running Point. That's a 10-part series. That's a comedy. And
This motherfucker just tried to fact check me, didn't you?
pretty good.
No. I wanted to know why Severance was so expensive
What'd you find out?
because I had heard that as well.
Okay, why is it expensive?
Severance season 2's high budget, reportedly reaching $20 million per episode, was attributed to a combination of factors, including creative hiccups, the 2023 writers and actor strikes, and the quest for perfection by Ben Stiller.
Okay, so Ben Stiller's an asshole and a
Yes.
bunch of extenuating
Yes.
circumstances. Got it.
So apparently they scrapped a bunch of scripts and had to refilm, and
Dude, they'll make a movie for like 15 million, and it'll make like it'll make 50 million. They'll be like, that wasn't very good, and you're like, what? Like you're telling me 20 million an episode is worth it? Like, get out of here.
Ben Stiller.
I'm not
You're not a fan of him?
I'm not a big fan of his.
So I love Ben Stiller.
He plays funny roles, but he kind of plays the same character in all his funny roles.
Oftentimes.
Yeah,
Except for Zoolander. This is
yeah.
a brilliant character. But Ben Stiller I find hilarious and I really like him. But as soon as you said Ben Stiller was the director and that his producer, but then when you said and their quest for perfection, it like all clicked really quickly. That dude would suck as a director or a producer. He seems very anal. And I never thought about it. I always just thought he's this fun-loving guy. But that dude strikes me as a perfectionist.
Well, he comes from, royalty, basically.
As far as Hollywood,
Yeah.
for sure.
So he's got an ego.
Yeah, you could see it, right?
Yeah.
Probably a big
he has to make up for his looks.
Yeah.
looks.
He thinks he's super handsome. That's the funny part.
He was Zoolander, the most handsome male model ever.
I thought that was part of the joke.
No. Actually, he did get Owen Wilson with his busted ass nose to play the second best male supermodel ever. Maybe it was part of the joke.
Well, that was always that. There was a time, and maybe it still is, but like back when supermodels were like at their heyday, there were the drop dead 10s, but then there'd be one that would be just as popular, and you're like, I wouldn't look twice at her if she walked by me on the street, But it's like the industry gets together and they're like, they're all in on a joke or something. They're like, let's push this guy or girl forward.
it is. Supermodels can be either like you see them and you know they're hot,
Yeah.
but then they're always like, I would say the majority of them have something a little off that makes you go, yeah, all right.
Yeah, sometimes
Back
it's
in the
like
90s?
a different look.
No, no. Look, Kathy Ireland, Christy Brinkley, like these kind of all agreed gorgeous.
Okay, so you're saying in today's supermodel,
But like
I can't name any, but even back in the 90s, there'd be one that was like different, that had just a different look.
yeah, you always have something
Yeah.
either a little too elongated, but
Yeah.
these are the same people who say Sarah Jessica Parker's hot.
Yes.
She's not.
right?
Okay, we all agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. So I live in a house full of women.
Yeah.
And the other day I'd made a comment. I was like, oh, that horse. And my wife was furious. She was like, she is gorgeous. And then my daughter was like, no, let me see. And my daughter was like, oh yeah, she's super pretty.
Are
I'm
you
like,
talking about today or even 20 years ago? Because definitely not today.
she always had I'm talking Sex in the City.
Yes. Yeah, even at her prime, she was
I
average.
found her to be very long.
Yeah, you want to feed her a carrot like this with your hand flat.
Flat so she doesn't
Yeah.
bite it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want my fingers getting caught in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like the one woman. If
Or
she
cut an apple in half.
I'd be nervous if she sucked on my finger. Most women, you'd be like, oh, that's kind of hot.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bite my shit, dude. Don't bite my finger, Sarah. It's just bad.
Yeah, I remember when that show got popular, and because I watched it when it first was popular,
Hey,
and
say the name of it.
Sex and the City.
Okay. How do you say it?
That's correct.
Yeah. So I always said Sex in the City.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is one of those weird things that like became normal that Sex in the City, but it's not. It's Sex and the City.
Yeah.
It's because people don't read.
Reading is hard.
Apparently, it was for me because I'm a big Sex in the City.
But I
guy.
always found it funny that to me the hottest girl on that show.
The slut.
No,
Oh no, the brown
the
brown hair-
brunette. Yeah, like
dude, by far.
yeah, but like nobody. You know, she wasn't the one that was pushed forward like the slutty one, and
She was the one who didn't
were.
get the guys,
Yeah.
right? Wasn't she kind of the girl next door?
Well, I think actually no, I think she got married. I can't remember. It was a
I don't know.
long
I
time
never
ago.
watched the show.
The slutty one was the bombshell from Police Academy.
Yes,
Oh,
and
really?
Mannequin.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know this. Yeah, if those three girls walked in a bar, the brunette is the only one that I'm talking to.
Well, have you seen the new? Speaking of, have you seen the new trailer? And I've seen it being passed around online, like the new Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah, it's Eva Longoria in that, right?
No, it's
No, it's the Wicked Witch.
No, that's Gal Gadot.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot.
And then some other actress who is Snow White. And you know, the premise of that movie is the witch is jealous of Snow White's looks. And like in the movie, when you see them next to each other, you're like, the evil witch is a dime.
Yeah, Gal all day.
Yeah,
Gal Gadot
exactly.
is smoking hot.
Yeah.
And she's a badass.
Everyone agrees with that. Like, I don't know anyone who doesn't think that.
Not a controversial statement.
No.
Sarah Jessica Parker, people argue.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot, no one argues.
Well, like Angelina Jolie's played like the evil witch before, but like that was more for like evil, not
yeah, she's
necessarily
capable of evil.
Yeah.
Well, she's got Billy Bob blood in her,
well, and she has those angular like
but she's
mean
hot.
look. Yes.
Even though sometimes she looks a little weird.
I don't
Yeah.
think she's hot.
Yeah, and I'm willing to hear that argument because she's done some things to her face that have
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
messed her up.
I don't know if it's because back when she blew up, it was all this weird, like, you didn't know she was fucking her brother and Billy Bob at the same time. And she was
She didn't do
carrying-
herself any favors with that whole I'm weird.
But I was like, I was team Jennifer Aniston
Oh, well, we all
Yeah.
are. We all are.
in the Brad Pitt divorce.
Brad Pitt had them both.
Yeah.
That's my guy. And apparently a hell of a drunk. It's very interesting. What the fuck? 19 minutes into this,
None
We
of this
haven't-
was written down.
I don't even know how this started or happens. That's actually my favorite part of doing this podcast.
Yeah. Never know where it's going to take you.
No, you don't.
But yet, we have a list.
We do. And I don't even have to go to it, but I'm choosing to because I'm excited about something today. And this is a first world problem. Everyone's got dudes
Yes.
or hey dudes.
Rocking some right now.
So am I, Dave.
Not today.
But I see those Costco shorts.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Those were sub $15, weren't they?
That's right.
They look
might-
great.
They might have been like 16.
No.
I think they were $14.99. I got 2 pairs.
That's right. Everyone should.
Yep.
Race to Costco and
Yes.
get your Hurley hybrid shorts now while you can. because they are cheap.
Are they your first pair, Dave? What do you think of them? You want to give us a review?
Well, as a lover of all things Costco for 30 years,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure these aren't my first $15 shorts.
Very true. But these are good ones that you can go swimming in. You can wear out to the restaurant. You can do whatever.
You can spill your drink on them.
Yeah, it's because they're water
Yeah.
resistant. They're great.
But I remember when we first joined Costco and I'd walk through there, I'd be like, oh, this is name. They had name brand stuff in there. Like it used to just be like Kirkland brand and everything, but now like they have legit brand name stuff in there.
But it's the lower rent version of
Yeah.
the name brand stuff. It's like
Second line.
yeah, like Hurley doesn't put the extra pocket in the Costco ones that they might in the $80 ones that you pick up at the surf shop.
Yeah, but
or
it's
Dick's.
like when we drank the Kirkland liquor, like it's made at the same place and I like it. So what do I care?
exactly. No, I don't blame you. Like that's why we brought it up last
Yeah.
week. We want the listeners to know, like, because you have a small window to get that shit. Summer's coming. Get that.
I know Dave's not. Well, I can't. Dave's notoriously cheap, like I am. Like, I don't even care. I don't care about brands. Like, I'm not loyal to any one brand. If I like the way something looks, I'll buy it if it's a deal.
Yeah, and that's exact. But that's you've always been that way.
Yeah.
I don't want to say you're cheap,
But I feel
frugal.
like, but that comes with age too. Like when I was a kid, I'd be like, I gotta have some Nikes. Like, Mom, I can't go to school with some
Like,
Walmart.
get your ass kicked.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
It's more important than that.
Yeah.
Now it's like, all right, this looks good, feels good, it's cheap. That's a win.
yeah,
Like I'll take it. So that's brings me back to the Hey Dudes. Like I like my Hey Dudes. They're very comfortable. It's an okay look. I
Yeah.
don't think anyone's saying you're setting the world on
you're
fire.
not. Yeah, you're not trend setting. You're not.
No, you're actually
Well, you're
just
not stylish per se.
you're actually just assimilating to
Yeah.
the average.
I used to think they were
male.
the most comfortable shoes in the world. Now I do not, but I still have a pair that I always keep by my door that I can just jump in and jump out of when I'm just want to do something quick.
So I got two. Well, that's because they're slip on.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than slip on shoes.
Yeah.
But so I got multiple pairs of Hey Dudes, and they just get raggedy.
They do.
They wear fast.
But what you don't realize is that you can. Well, I'm sure most people realize this. You can wash Hey Dudes.
Yes.
You just have to take out the insole and you just wash them.
But the insole is what harbors a lot of the funk.
All the funk, like it's brutal.
Yeah.
Which is so. This past week, I took two pairs of Hey Dudes that I was like, man, I really need these to go back to good. In fact, I'm rocking a pair right now. These have been reconditioned.
Nice.
Hey Dudes. They were completely beat to shit.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
They look pretty much new.
Did you put new insoles in them?
Funny you should ask.
Because I've done that, and it makes them more comfortable. Yep.
Fresh insoles, but check this out. These actually on the bottom say Wally's. Now, if anyone knows anything about Hey
That's
Dudes,
the
these,
brand.
These
Yeah,
are
that's
Wally's.
the-
That's the style.
Yeah.
So these are actual Wally inserts. I compared them to my old Hey Dude inserts. The only difference between these is they don't actually have the words Hey Dude imprinted on them. Same fabric on the top, same fabric on the inside.
Where'd you buy them from?
On Amazon,
Uh huh.
$15 for a 2-pack.
Wow. So for 4 insoles?
Yeah, so I've refurbished 2 pairs of Hey Dudes, the ones that I decided these are good to go.
So
I took a toothbrush to them, scrubbed them down real good,
Yeah.
got all the big stains out, hand washed them. Because like I washed one pair and it didn't come out with the stains off. I was like, that's
Yeah.
bullshit. So did the toothbrush to it, actually worked. Bought these. They're called Endoto, Endoto, and they're on Amazon. For one pair, they're 10, but for 2 pairs of insoles, they're $15. Then they make various styles with like different tops, but the ones that are $15 for 2 pair are the exact replicas of the Hey Dude.
So is the
insert.
Wally brand not trademarked?
No, so the Hey Dude is, but the Wally's
Yeah.
just a style.
So
I-
did you type in "Hey Dude" insole into Amazon or?
Yeah, and I kept looking through and then like started finding reviews that are like, man, these are like the same thing. Then I got them and I like did a side-by-side comparison, like everything I could find. No, these are them. And you get them to your size, not for,
Well, and you can cut them down.
yeah, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
Because they're cut to because like I wear a size 12, but in Hey Dudes, I wear a 13. Toe sticks out in 12s. I don't know why. So ordered the 13 and boom, it stiffened them up. All of a sudden my shoe went flat again. I was like, oh, snap, because the Hey Dudes
Oh,
started
yeah.
to
They
curl
start
up
to
over
curl
time.
up. Yeah.
The insole is all the structure. So boom, they went back. They're just as comfortable. I walked around today with the old insole on one side and the new one on the other, and I was like, yep, this is a way better shoe now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm back. So Endoto. Go on Amazon, the Endoto,
Why did you walk around with one shoe?
because I wanted
Compare
to.
and
No, I
contrast.
had the old insole and the
Oh, I
new
know, but
insole.
why one and the other?
Because
to
I wanted
compare.
to know.
Couldn't you figure out in like 10 seconds?
It didn't take long.
I was going to say, couldn't you just know without even trying?
I have a scientific mind.
When you
Yeah.
buy shoes, are you like, hold on, let me keep my old one on my right foot?
But you know what
Give
you've
me
done
that,
now?
Give me that new left.
What's that?
Uneven wear on them.
By about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I fucked him up.
Yep. So you're going to be walking in circles before you know it.
Oh, God. One leg will grow longer.
Yep.
I'll be one of those kids with the platform.
That's right.
Oh, no. This is awkward. I've ruined myself.
Yeah.
It's ruined.
Well, no, here's the fix. Do it the opposite for the other shoe. And then you'll be back to square
Oh, even
one.
it out. Do 10
Yeah.
minutes the other way. I still
Yeah.
have the old insoles.
Exactly. You're welcome.
So are all your Hey Dudes Wallies?
No, but the Wally is, well, any Hey Dude that has this shape is a Wally. Just the original, the texture, this like,
I forget what this one's called.
Check your insole.
it won't say it on the insole.
Well, it's got a thing on the.
But the Wally has to do with the original texture. Remember how Hey Dudes always had this weird ruffled texture to them? Now that they're starting to get fancier, they're calling them all different names.
Yeah, this is a Wally.
Oh, there you go.
Wally Funk Surf Blanket.
Boom. These are the Wally inserts, man. And they
Nice.
literally even say it on them. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Same factory, same thing, half the price. Because the Hey Dudes, they want to charge like $25.
Do you think they're made at the same factory?
I do. Because they're literally like the cuts, the edges, the roughness. I feel like it was exactly the same. They're just like the Hurley shorts coming from the same place.
Yeah.
Just like they say, I was in Best Buy. I was like looking at TVs, and I was like looking at the Insignia brand. I was like talking to the salesperson. I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. This thing, it's a lot cheaper." And I was like, "But the Samsung, it's nicer." And he's like, "Look at the picture." He's like, "What do you think about the picture?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, they look good." He's like, "Yeah, because that's a Samsung." He's like, "We literally make the Insignias on the same line as the Samsung. The difference is this has one HDMI port, and that one has like 3.
Yeah.
It's just how they do them." He's like, "But the screen themselves, like, it's the same diodes, it's the same stuff.
Yeah, so if you don't need a bunch of ports, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, if you don't need the better TV." Now he was like, he was like very honest. He was like, "Now I can't say that the quality control, like coming down the Samsung line, like maybe they got the senior guy going,
Yeah.
no, yes, no, and over here the Insignia guy's like, yes, yes, yes."
Or maybe they like extra package up the Samsung and they just like do one padding on the Insignia. They're like,
Yeah, because the Insignias are going to get returned
Yeah.
more often. Like, but it is made on the Samsung line, and these things occur all the time. out
probably
there in
way
the
more
real
than we
world.
know it.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah.
But
Because
it's
how
so,
would you know?
But it's so hard to find. Like, you're on Amazon and you're like, that looks just like the other one. Like, what's the difference? Then sometimes you get them and you're like, it's totally different.
Well, since so much stuff is made overseas and overseas is known for knocking off stuff, like it only makes sense, right?
Oh, there's knockoffs that are absolutely as good as the real deal. You just have to find that manufacturer that the only difference is they change the label.
Yeah.
And those, I don't know if they're few and far between, but you got to find them. I do know that this insole has saved my ass. I'm like, hell yeah. I just, instead of buying new Hadudes, I'm going to roll with 2 old pairs that I scrub down and put new insoles in. I feel like I get another season coming to me.
Nice.
So would you rock a nameless Yeti?
No. That's different. Why do you always do this to me? No. It's different.
I would.
What if it was $100 instead of $350?
Why is it $250 less? You see, there's certain points
Because it
where
doesn't say Yeti on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's certain points where I
Did you
ignore the whole
find
thing.
a version of that cooler?
No, I
Oh.
didn't look.
There's got to be one out there, right?
It's called Arctic.
Yeah, Arctic is basically 50% of what.
But I hate Arctic. Like that one.
Because you decided you were a Yeti person.
No, because they made the exact same product and then went ahead and marketed Arctic like we're awesome. If they were Shang Tao, I'd be like, so be it. But if they didn't have a big Shang Tao logo on it, the fact that Arctic made the exact same cooler and then went directly after Yeti, I was like, that's weak.
That's genius.
No, like all right, Pelican. Pelican has different latches,
Yeah.
slightly different grooves and shit. I respect a Pelican way more than the exact knockoff that then tries to market themselves as something else.
Yeah, their marketing, Arctic's was like, we are the exact same as Yeti, but 50% cheaper.
Yeah. And I can't
But
get, but they look
you've got
the
to
same.
appreciate that.
No, I like an Igloo cooler because it looks like something else.
And it
I-
doesn't cool anything.
Cools enough. It cools enough. Igloos are made in Katy, Texas. The hard side ones, not the soft side. They're made in China. Mm-hmm. But you can buy a hard side igloo and rest assured it was actually made here in America.
Where do you stand on Ozark? Ozark Trail.
Ozark Trail,
Because that's the same as an Arctic and the Yeti.
but they did bite some shit, but they have some stuff that looks entirely different.
Well, and they have some, I think they did cut corners on, it's the same vacuum mold, but I think they probably cut corners on some other stuff.
Well, they do because it's clearly the Walmart brand.
Yeah.
But I don't like something that looks exactly like something else and then tries to be something different and then promote it and market it. And it just,
Isn't that what everything is nowadays? Like every car is basically the same crappy, every four-door car is a version of just with a different badge on it. Like they're not that different.
but they make subtle differences. The Arctic literally looks exactly like a Yeti. It did, at least it did when it started. Now they have to change on account of
No,
copyright.
the logo was different.
I never picked up on that.
Yeah.
I never picked up on that.
So one spelt Yeti on it, and then one had like a polar bear.
Okay,
on
but
it.
Yetis were always bear proof. So what did Arctic do? Used a fucking polar bear?
Yeah.
Fuck Arctic.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually vehemently anti-Arctic. It
Well, you're a
bothers-
Yeti guy.
But it's not a snobby thing. It's a total principle.
yeah, he
it's,
is.
it's principle.
Okay.
His moral
principle.
standard is way high.
Look, all right.
That principle is, I spent a shit ton of money on all this Yeti gear. I'm not buying the same thing for half price.
No. All right, here's another perfect example. You have Ralph Lauren Polo, and then you have the U.S. Polo Association.
They don't look exactly the same.
But we put two dudes on horses versus one dude on a horse.
Yeah.
Playing polo. Fuck you. You're out. Izod, hey, you're in. Britches Great Outdoors, when that was a thing with the Warthog, you're in. Any number of different logo, you're in. U.S. Polo Association with the two dudes on horses, fuck you.
But again, that was a different look. And not the quality. Like that stuff was garbage.
No, but people bought it because they were like, hey, it's two horses. It's even better. Like,
Well, I
they're
think,
the
I
Arctic
think dumb
of-
people. No, I think people bought Arctic to save the money. I think dumb people bought Polo to try to front like they were buying Polo, but they didn't realize they weren't actually buying Ralph Lauren Polo brand.
That was the problem with U.S. Polo is people bought it thinking it was it. They tricked them.
Yeah,
It made me angry.
You think people actually fell for that?
Fuck yeah.
for sure.
Did you fall for that?
My wife, no, my wife
wife
came
fell
home.
for it?
My wife came home and goes, yeah. There was a great deal on polo shirts today, and gave me a U.S. Polo Association polo. And I saw it and I was like, all right, I love you. Thank you so much. And I wore it once, and the amount of shame that I felt as I was walking around, I was like, I can't do this.
Oh man.
And I've never worn it again.
I was wondering why this was so personal to you.
It's very personal. It was beautiful, navy blue. It was perfect.
Did you take it back?
No, it's sitting in a fucking garbage bag in my attic amongst all the
How
other
long
shit.
ago was this?
15 years ago.
I could use a seam ripper and just cut one of the dudes off.
You know, that would actually be brilliant. The messed up thing, she was a fashion merchandising
That's
major,
the sad part.
and she fell for it. She was like, these polo shirts were a steal. Like, no, they're not. That is U.S. Polo. So she should have shown up with an Arctic cooler.
You're right.
And a
It's
fucking-
bear proof. It has a bear on it.
There's a bear right there.
At least the Arctic is the same quality as the Yeti, where the U.S. Polo Association was made out of. Like, I can't believe she didn't pick it up and feel the difference.
Before you wash them, they feel pretty good. It's like Old Navy. Old
Yeah.
Navy and Gap are the same
Yeah.
thing. And Banana Republic. You have like different levels of the same look.
When I was in college and right out of college, I mean, Old Navy was like exclusively like what I wore.
I still buy Old Navy.
I haven't even been. I can't remember the last time I was in an Old Navy.
I take my kids to Old Navy and I go, do you see anything in here that you want for 1 year?
Yeah.
And that's the look.
Yeah.
That's the conversation we have. Because I'm like, the colors are going to fade. It's not going to hold the collar or it's not going to hold the look the way it does. But it's going to look sharp.
I remember
for a
20
season.
years ago though, it was fine. Like my stuff lasted years.
It'll last, but little things. I always find little things fuck up. But no, I go into Old Navy all the time for like staples. In fact, you do weight losing.
They sell Staples.
Yes. No, like
They do have a lot of stuff there.
no, like undershirts.
Staples does not sell Staples.
Weird. Actually, no, you two going through your weight loss journey as you guys keep getting smaller, might I recommend Old Navy for just a 1 season stopgap while you figure out where you're going to net out?
For like a T-shirt,
T-shirts, athletic gear. I actually still buy Old Navy athletic gear.
that's smart.
That shit is like fantastic for like gym wear because it's the same fabric as all the high end shit.
Yeah.
But it's only going to last so long. But like you're paying $10 versus $100 at somewhere else, like a Lululemon or some bullshit. It's not a bad deal.
Yeah, but you make those Lululemon tights look good.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. But they have the extra bulge.
Yeah.
I like that. You got a little padding right there. Two little paddings at the bottom of the crotch, and then just a little third that just kind of juts out. It's nice.
Do you see guys? Well, both of y'all going to a gym. Do y'all see guys wearing like crazy weird stuff like that now?
Mostly older guys. These are the same
What?
guys that like to walk around the gym naked. Mm-hmm. In the locker room.
So they're wearing tights and stuff. They're wearing.
There's a handful of old guys that walk around, and these are like the gigolos of the older generation that I'm seeing. Like these are the guys that like chat up every girl, and they're in their fucking
Yeah.
yeah. I see that. Do you see it, Dave?
I would never notice. Like I don't give a fuck about other people's fashion. Like I get buying something.
But you don't see it.
No.
You don't see other people in the gym.
No, I do, but I don't know.
It's such a weird angle.
It is
I
a-
would never notice a
I don't-
60-year-old guy wearing tights.
I don't know.
How do you not notice?
Yeah,
that?
how would I?
I don't know who is dressed upscale in a gym.
No, I'm not saying
I'm not.
upscale. We're
no,
talking
it's
about
not-
tights.
I said wearing weird stuff.
Do you
like
see men in tights?
I don't think so. I think I've seen some people that shouldn't be wearing, muscle shirts wearing muscle.
I was gonna say, like when I was going to the gym on regular, you would see the guys wearing like the spaghetti strap,
Oh,
like
yeah.
tanks that like cover nothing, or like the homemade cut the sleeves off, but by cutting the sleeves off, they cut the entire side out.
Yes.
And you're like, what? You're
That is an awesome flex. Yeah. Because you're like you're really putting it out there. You're like, I have
Yeah.
got not just the sleeve, but the side.
yeah.
It's because he had armpit stains. That's why.
No, that's not why you cut the entire all the way down to the bottom.
I see it. I see it out there. I see some stuff.
You go to a higher dollar gym than I do.
Well, no, I don't see this.
That doesn't mean you don't
no.
see weird stuff.
I never see the sides cut out at my gym, but I do see the sleeveless guys,
Yeah.
and it's a weird flex.
Oh, when I was going to the gym, I cut the sleeves off old T-shirts all the time and wore sleeveless shirts.
Were you jacked? Enough.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's just I don't know. I just didn't like wearing sleeves when I was in the gym.
There you go. No, I'm I don't do that.
Oh, really? You seem like you would be the guy.
No.
You do seem like you'd be the guy.
I work out in this shirt.
You go to formal fundraising things without a shirt on,
Yeah.
Well, I would.
but not the gym.
No, that's gross. What, am I some kind of a creep? Not a
Well, I
creep.
mean, you know,
Only get naked for the children.
yeah.
Hey, wait, you said it was weird.
I mean, it does help, and that's why there's mirrors all over gyms, so you can watch yourself work out and see what you're doing. And if you're wearing, you know, sleeves, you can't see as much as if you were wearing a tank top or a sleeveless shirt.
Yeah, I wear a lot of long sleeve shirts in the gym. I'm weird. I wear short sleeve shirts, but normal
That is so weird.
short sleeve
It's
shirts.
just weird.
Yeah, I wouldn't wear long sleeve.
Yeah.
In the winter, I always wear long sleeves
Interesting.
because the walk across the parking lot's very cold.
You don't have a locker?
No, I refuse.
Put your jacket in it?
No, I don't even. No, I never wear a jacket in.
So you only go into the locker room to observe.
No,
It's called research, Dave.
I whack my
Come
bag like a gentleman. I just sit there and slowly jerk it to old guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave, you got me all figured out. You twat.
In my long sleeve shirt. Donald Duckin. No pants.
Yeah. You guys got me. You got me all figured out. Boy,
Tell me about your hair transplants.
you know, I shouldn't even tell you guys things.
Dude, seriously, with your arms, you should not be wearing sleeves in the gym. Like, that's just dumb.
Oh,
I don't.
nice.
That is actually.
The nicest thing
He
he's
was,
ever said.
yeah, he was shitting on me, but thanks, Troy.
No, it's just dumb. Like, you work out as many times a week so you can have bigger arms. Like, that's where you can wear. Like, to Dave's point, you go shirtless to an event. Like, could be argued inappropriate. But if you go tank top to a gym,
Okay, y'all are referring
mildly
to the stash
appropriate.
bash. Can we just, for the listeners, it is a drunken party and you dress up in a costume. And one time I had a mustache on my chest. It was the only time that, and I still had the zip up tracksuit that I would unzip. It wasn't like I was always naked. One time.
I'm just saying.
But it was last year one time. Or barely
2 years ago.
barely over a year ago.
Yes.
What do we have here, Brendan?
Troy, what is this? I have been waiting for this beer since it came out a month ago. Couldn't be more excited. 5.3% alcohol. It's the exact amount that you should have. It's close to sessional, but a little stronger.
Based on the marketing, I'm surprised it's not twice as much.
Exactly right. It is the new Dogfish Head Grateful Dead Juicy Pale Ale. Very excited about this. What's weird about it is not only does it have all the hops you would expect, but it's made with Kernza and granola. Hippie.
This says tropical and citrus notes.
And it's got a beautiful Grateful Dead lightning skull logo on there.
Steal your face.
To steal your face. He knows it. Oh, look at the hippie over here.
This collaborative juicy pale ale took us
You want a heavy
on an
one?
exploration of goodness,
Light one, heavy one.
starting with a generous dose of Kernza grains and granola for a beer bursting with good karma, enjoying notes of bright citrus and tropical refreshment.
It smells good.
It's got a, what are these things called? QR code? Got a QR code on the can
Apparently, the Kernza grain
and on the box.
is pulling some dirty shit out of our atmosphere and pumping it deep into the earth because it's got deep, deep roots and it allows it to get recycled through the earth. I don't know what that negative thing is, but they said that this was a super helpful beer. Oh, Troy just dropped 100 beers out of the fridge.
Almost. I'll be right back.
I am dying to try this beer. The Steal Your Face Skull. I mean, come on. This is a beautiful beer for deadheads. This is the most positive marketing I've seen for a beer in a while. I'm very ecstatic about this beer.
So apparently the Kernza grain is a perennial crop, unlike wheat.
Yeah, it always comes back.
And it does sequester carbon.
That's what it is, carbon. And its roots go so deep that it's able to bury it back into the earth where we want it.
All right, let's take a sip here.
And it's a juicy IPA, but it also comes in at 5.3. I have big hopes for this beer. Big hopes. Like I am.
Why is it called Steal Your Face? Anybody know the backstory of that?
I don't. But Dave's a deadhead.
But that's their like most famous logo, right? That and the teddy bear, dancing
Well, and
bear.
the dancing bears. Ooh.
Think it has something to do with drugs?
No.
No.
No. It has to do with love your neighbor.
You know what? Let me apologize. That was wrong with me.
Very aggressive, Troy.
Yeah.
Very aggressive. I
To put
believe-
that on them, they've done nothing to deserve such a fate.
But it also is the lightning bolt's exactly where the third eye would be. I think it does have a lot to do with
I
open.
thought that was on the back.
Third eye's right here.
Oh.
I think
Pineal gland.
Steal Your Face is the name of an album. And maybe that was
That logo was
first-
on it?
First logo on that album.
This
Got a pretty good nose on it.
It's got a great nose. I don't taste the granola. They said it had granola in it, which I think is hilarious because they went right at the hippies. With the blessing of the Grateful Dead.
Because the red, white, and blue Grateful Dead Steal Your Face logo
Wasn't
hippie enough.
No, we're barely scratching the hippie surface.
Yeah.
But we've added granola.
I'll go first.
You're already fucking in? You already got a
I'm in.
opinion? Hey, hold your opinion. Because I do not want you to
good
think that
gracious.
I'm being affected by your opinion.
He's known for having premature opinion.
Opinionation.
Yes. A little quick on the draw sometimes.
If you
know
will.
what I'm
If
saying.
you will.
And
You know-
I think that you do.
Yeah, no, I've heard that. I've heard
Yeah.
that.
Only if it's been a while since I've given an opinion.
Is 1 week a while?
They were going to name L One Pump. But they couldn't find a middle name that worked.
Yeah. It's always the middle name with that
Not
one.
even funny.
Yeah, it is.
He says to a laugh.
Premature opinionation. Oh, yeah.
This is
Okay.
something.
Okay, I have my opinion. You will not sway me. Now, Troy, this is going to be... You're going to be shocked by mine. Okay, go ahead, Dave.
I had I was worried going in because anytime you market with somebody that's known for just leeching money off of companies,
Yeah.
quality might go down. But this beer is delicious. I also had a fear because Dogfish Head has some of the greatest and some of the worst IPAs.
Yes.
They are so... You
They
are
go over
absolutely
the
right.
top with the IPAs.
Like the 60-minute was pretty good, but everyone lost their mind over it. And then the 90 came out.
Yeah.
and
Which
I-
was not good.
I thought it tasted like a malt beer, but everyone said
But then the 120 came out.
oh, that one, yeah.
That was... No, Dogfish has a way of fucking it up. Ooh.
Yeah.
I just had a burp that may change my score.
But this beer's a 4 to me.
Ooh,
Wow.
that's fucking interesting.
Like it is really it delivers with what it says as far as the hops and the tropical
And the
feel,
juice.
the juiciness.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Because I have a number in my head. Troy, I'm going to let you
I'll go.
go.
Yeah, I'll go next. So on our pre-show meeting, text meeting that we always have, very professional.
Which you did score this beer
Yes,
before
I
you ever had it.
pre-scored this.
Yes. You want me to divulge your score?
Yeah, please do.
Troy gave this beer a 1.5
Yes,
Via text.
because
before ever tasting it or seeing it or anything about it. I just said, "Ooh, I got the new Dogfish Head Grateful Dead. I can't wait."
yeah, you were like
He said
juicy
1.5.
IPA.
Only response he gave, no words, no explanation, 1.5. And I literally laughed and turned to my wife and I said, "Troy already judged our deli."
And I mean, look, sometimes I'm right. So when I'm right, I say I'm right. And I was wrong here. This is actually really freaking good. Like,
Okay,
I think
okay.
this is pretty damn tasty. And I don't know if I'll give it a 4, but I can definitely give it a 3.5. I mean, I think it's pretty damn yummy. It's
Okay.
got The citrus and the juice cuts the hops. It doesn't leave any of the funky hoppy taste in your mouth. And I think, to Dave's point, my prejudging of it was Dogfish Head. This could be great, or this could be. And just collabs are weird to me, you know. And like, again, back to the when you think Grateful Dead, what do you think? Think smoking pot. And what do a lot of these
Smell very, it tastes
these-
very potty.
yeah, very weed centric, which to me in a beer isn't really a good flavor profile.
What did you think of the old 420s? You know, when 420 came out with that G13 or Sweetwater, I should say.
Yeah, the
What'd
the
you think of
420. Did we deli it?
We did.
Yeah,
I don't recall.
I can't recall. We've done so many of these. I don't.
I just remember thinking that literally smelled like weed.
Yeah, I don't remember liking many of them, but this was pretty damn tasty, and it doesn't have. And the weed smell doesn't really bother me, but I don't know. I think this is a very good beer, and I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Nice.
Oh, okay. That's what I like to hear. So I had come up with my score prior to any of this. And what I really like about this beer is how juicy it is.
Yes.
Like it's got all that juiciness, all that flavor, all that citrus, all that stuff going on. If I had to give it a knock on the back end, maybe it's the granola. But it's such a weird aftertaste that I can't complain. It's not a
Yeah.
hoppy aftertaste.
I feel like if they didn't put granola in the description, you'd never.
Yeah, it's in my head.
Yeah.
It's in my head. But it creates this weird, like, earthiness. I don't know. That would be my biggest knock on it. But what I love about it, it's so refreshing. And the 5.3 is so refreshing on the other side. Like, it's nice that we didn't go over the top with an IPA.
And we're not at 3.5.
Yeah, we didn't cut it completely to the core.
Yeah.
But we didn't go over we just let it sit at 5.3, which is a nice, reasonable drink. I enjoy this beer a lot more than I thought I would. The juiciness, without being crazy and intoxicating, still comes through. I haven't lost anything in the juiciness. I fucking love this beer. I'm giving it a 4. I think this Dogfish Head Grateful Dead Juicy Pale Ale is absolutely worth putting the Grateful Dead name on. That works. I'll buy it again. And not to pull a stew, but come on, that's the best looking can in the game. Red, white, and blue with lightning bolts and the steel your face skull.
I mean, but it has nothing to do with Grateful Dead.
Right.
So, I
no,
mean, it's
it
like,
doesn't. But I just like the collab.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a 3.83, so that is a deli winner.
That's what I like to hear.
And I also realized that last week, I think we said that the hop waters were a winner, but I never did I don't think I ever rang the bell. Which kind of made sense, kind of fitting, being that it was
I thought we did ring the bell.
I don't recall ringing the bell. So, I could be wrong. But yeah, that was pretty good. That was a nice surprise. I was way off.
Yeah, that's like way better than it should be, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad to hear it. Sorry, I just tried to log back into my FanDuel app. Apparently, that's how long it's been. It made me re-enter everything. It was like, we've never seen you before.
I was just saying, you two degenerates must be gambling
I
because you're
am.
both on your phones.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just putting a quick bet here. Boom, boom. Taking it.
Troy, you remember that thing you sent out that showed somebody's bets over time?
I don't.
Like he total wagers 20,000 and total.
Oh,
return.
yeah.
I'm cut off a 0.
You have.
Positive $72 in my career.
In your career?
Yeah.
Hey, that's pretty good.
And I'm not going to put the number out there, but that's a good sized chunk of money you gambled.
Well, that's all $5 and $10, $20.
Yeah.
Did you just take my bet?
I did.
Thank you. Let's do it.
We'll see what happens.
Go Wildcats. What he just did
Yeah,
was
way
bet
up.
with my heart.
That was smart. Yeah. You know he's a homer for Arizona Wildcats.
Well, Kansas is struggling.
Yeah, and we're only 2.5
Yeah.
point or 2-point dog,
You
2-point
drank
favorites.
2.5.
You drank the Kool-Aid. Cool.
Yeah, we're gonna kill him.
Yeah.
we're gonna kill him. We're about to win this thing.
Nice.
Very excited. Very excited. Sorry, just completely derailed the conversation. Talking about losing money.
That was like the professional numbers guy who like bet like millions of dollars over a calendar year or like hundreds of thousands of dollars and netted like 20K or something, and like
Right.
he broke it down. He's like, I made like $5 an hour, like and probably took years of my life off like trying to beat the system.
But in my career, if I had lost $72, I would have still. It was fun. Like it adds a element to the game.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Because it's
But it makes you care about a game you would normally not care about.
Exactly.
yeah, and for $72 up.
I'd rather watch something else though. Like
Yeah, but he's up $72 and got to enjoy all these games. That's a win.
They're not all enjoyable. When you lose money, it's not an enjoyable
But at
thing.
least you care about the game.
Your heart is racing.
Yeah, you're stressing. You're putting undue stress on your body.
Hey, get used to it because when this episode comes out, it's Selection Sunday for March Madness.
Yeah,
It's happening, boys.
my team will be in.
March Madness is here. VCU's in.
Yeah,
You won your what are you guys in?
I guess they had such a good year this year. They're like 24-6 or something. So I think they all. Usually you have to win the conference tournament, but I saw
Oh, you
they were
never
like-
know, dude. Selection Sunday is a big deal. When this episode
Well, it
comes out,
says
you'll know.
like on the bracketology thing on ESPN, it says automatic qualifier. I don't know.
Then you won your division.
No.
Yeah, no.
Oh, there's certain automatic qualifiers that
No,
are
he-
predetermined.
The bracketology is set. It's like based on your strength of schedule
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
all this.
Yeah, but they're not technically.
right. It's a 90% accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If they say you're in, the odds are.
Yeah.
But Selection Sunday, look, March Madness is here. This is actually, the first week of March Madness is arguably the best week of sports.
Is next Thursday the start of it?
After this episode comes
Yeah.
out, that Thursday following, will
It's
be
4
will be that
days.
day
So it'll
that-
be it's 4 days after Selection Sunday.
Yeah, it'll
Okay.
start on that Thursday.
Actually,
well, you'll get
there
your
might be a-
play-in
there
games.
might- play-in
But
on
fuck
Wednesday.
play-in games. They're stupid. Unless your team's in it,
Carolina
and then it
will
matters.
Yeah.
probably be playing in.
I saw you guys were kind of on the bubble, but playing games. But that Thursday and Friday, that first one, that is like the best 2 days of casual sports viewership because everyone's got stupid brackets. Everyone's excited, and it's like there's a lot of commotion around that. Now, by the second weekend, you already know if you're kind of in or out.
Yeah.
And by the end of that second weekend, you know for sure if you're in or out because either the team that you have winning it all is either dead or alive.
Right.
But it's fun too, even if you're out or you don't do brackets or stuff. Like there's always those Cinderella teams you get behind.
Oh, you love them. Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, you
Yeah.
start to see that team, you're like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And like, you're a fan. We don't know who that team is this year, but
Who in God's name is Oral Roberts? But let's go.
they're my
Yeah.
squad. I love
love Oral.
I love that little guy. That little guy hits
Yeah.
all them shots. Yeah, it's exciting. This is a great time of year. This is like the first time you can really get back into sports after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This year's an anomaly with Ovi, which Ovi update. We're doing the Ovi watch.
Yeah. He scored
needs-
2 since last time.
He needs 9 to break the record. So we're right there. And I started looking at our math of it, like, I can't remember. Was it 1.6 or 1.4 games? Can't recall which one it was. But the math still holds.
He's still on pace.
Since last week, the pace is exactly there.
He scored an open goal.
Hey, I'll take it. It
Goals
doesn't
are
matter.
goals.
Goals
No,
are goals.
I'm not knocking it. I'm saying like that was a little lucky.
Sure. 1.4 games. The math holds.
Shooter shoot.
He's still there. And so right now, he's got 9 to get there. Tonight he'll play, unfortunately, so this will be dated. He'll actually play 2 games between now and when this episode comes out. But so far, the math is mathing. and he should take it this season with a handful of games to go.
You gonna try to catch a game?
No, you know how much the prices are right now? Oh my,
Dude, I'm getting
through the roof.
Facebook ads about like watch the Caps live, watch Ovi go for the record. Like you can stream it, pay to stream it. I'm like, good gracious.
We don't have to. We get them because we live here.
Yeah, I don't care, but I'm just like they're pushing it, like they're using this like as a selling point.
Yeah, we get Monumental. We get all the games, so you're good. You can watch them if you want to, or you can come over here and watch.
Yeah,
We'll just wait till
or I'll just wait to see the highlights.
look when he's 1.4 games away from winning it. We'll watch those 2 games.
When he's tied it up, then I'll start watching.
The math will math after that. You have
Yeah.
1.4 games from that point on, and he'll break the record. Actually, tying it's just as important. So you're gonna have to watch 4 games.
Did you
or
check-
actually technically 3?
Did you check the betting lines on the choices were he doesn't break the record or he breaks it this game.
Well, there's where the money is.
Every single one of them is plus.
Oh, I like that.
There are no like we're pretty sure it's going to happen here. It's like everything's plus.
What about for just breaking it this year? That's negative.
That wasn't it was he's not going to or he's going to do it on one of these days.
Yeah, I'm good. Not a degenerate. But of course, we've done the math here
Yeah,
on Inside the
already
Science
know.
House, so we could work it out.
We already.
But is
know.
your math for how many he needs to score given the remaining games or how many he scored before
This
that?
season, 1.4 games, he scores a goal. You run those numbers, you pick those 2 games, bet on it, you should hit. There's a variable there, but it'll hit.
So, according to your math, when will he hit?
Oh, I didn't write that down.
I'm just wondering if it's actually the final game.
It's 12 games from now.
And how many games are left?
Like 20, little less than 20.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
16 maybe.
Yeah.
18?
Somewhere in there. I think it was 17 games today, but there's going to be 2 more games where this comes out, so the math will math.
We should do that.
It's 1.4. You just bet on those 2 games.
But he also, he'll have a no goal and then a hat trick the next game. So it's all
Doesn't matter.
averages.
Water finds us level. And we understand the water's level. It's 1.4 games. Dude, it's science.
When are we ever wrong?
Don't.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah, come on now. Ovi's happening. Certain things are guaranteed in this world. And that's a guarantee.
I saw they're making, I guess he catches a lot of shit for quote unquote being a one trick pony. I saw there's like making shirts with like number 8 one trick pony, but like not mocking, like,
Yeah, like got him.
yeah, like, that's his trick. And it's a pretty
greatest
good,
trick
It's a
ever.
great trick. Like,
And let's not accidentally fuck up and win the whole thing this year. Let's not
That-
break the
that
record
would
and
be
win the whole
awesome.
fucking thing. Because then that motherfucker could honestly just walk away, even with a year left on his contract. Be like, gotta go.
yeah. What do you think?
honestly-
Do you do that, or do you like just stack on to the record?
I mean, I guess either way, your legacy is
Because he could
so
put 30 or
cemented.
40 or 50 more goals up next season and really make it even that much harder. Because no one ever thought that Gretzky's record would be caught.
I didn't think so.
No one thought it.
4 or 5 years ago, you
You're-
asked
you're
me,
no one.
and I'm a fan, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, zero chance. Zero chance. But here we are,
Here we are.
winning.
And we're going to watch it.
Yeah, I'm pretty fired up. Dude, you guys, oh man, I got 2 topics I want to go to right now. It's tough. All right, we're talking about March Madness. You know the other part of March Madness? For all middle-aged men?
Vasectomy madness.
Vasectomy Madness? Okay, one, give you that.
That wasn't where you're going?
No. There's another thing that happens during March Madness, and this is middle-aged men. Again, it sounds like vasectomies. I get
Missing,
that.
not working at work?
No, that's part of March Madness.
Okay.
This is the time of year where every dude starts to go, my lawn sucks. Not Troy.
Yes. I do not care. I did spend all last Saturday, because the weather was so nice, my wife and younger son and I spent all day in the yard picking up like a gajillion sticks. I had the Solo Stove eating all day.
Yes. Isn't that great? I did. It's funny you say that. That's actually what
All the wind and bad weather we had, I just had million sticks and limbs in my
Yes.
yard. So we picked them
grab
all
them,
up.
throw them in the
I
stove.
filled the Solo Stove with ash.
Mine is, you know why? Gumballs for me.
I bet I picked up pine cones. I have a 5-gallon bucket and a little reacher thing, so I
Yep.
don't have to bend over. I bet I filled that bucket 10 times.
And just burn them.
Yep, just throw them in the.
How many sweet gum trees do you have?
Only 2 left.
He's gotten rid
It's
of.
enough to fill the yard.
How many have you gotten rid of? 4?
4.
We had one, and as soon as we moved in, I cut it down.
Yeah, no, I've been
That's the
through
worst tree.
Yeah.
it. The wood's too soft to build shit with. The wood doesn't produce heat when it burns, so it's not an effective burning wood. But it
But the
produces a
debris.
fruit. It produces a fruit that's spiky. It's beautiful
And
it-
dangerous when you step on. Oh. If the spikes don't get you, the rolling across it like marbles sure will.
Last weekend, I literally, my yard, I just blew the whole damn yard and just piled them up and had the Solo Stove burning
Yep.
and was just taking armfuls and throwing them in there. And the rest I would blow out. Like as soon as the Solo Stove couldn't keep up,
Yeah.
then I'd blow the rest out. And then I just did the same thing, picked up debris. But I had a unique little situation going on. I wanted to aerate my yard because I wanted to plant some seed. I wanted to kind of dig up the turf a little, kind of
Yeah.
loosen it up. And I even called Dave because Dave has every toy.
Yeah.
And I was like, you got one of those things I could put behind like a riding mower that'll just like till up the yard so I can like plant seed? And he was like, nope. I was like, cool. And then I reached out to the White Knight.
Those suck.
Yeah. And he started telling me
Yeah,
about
you need a plug aerator. They're the only ones that actually do the work.
So then he started, and that's exactly what Dave said. Dave goes, you need a plug aerator, otherwise you're wasting your time. He goes, if it's discs that are just cutting, doesn't do you any
Or the
good.
ones that just
If
have
it's
the
just
solid spikes that just poke
Yeah.
holes. I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess, but the plugs are what you really want.
It is. You want to pull out a core,
Yep.
like dump it to the side, drop it in. And so I started looking at those and I was like, yep, not doing that because I don't want to spend all that money and then have this giant spiky machine sitting in my yard,
Yeah.
rusting. Because rusted spikes, I don't know, but tetanus and
Yeah.
very negative. So I was like, I can't do this. So then I found these like $20 spike shoes. You seen these things?
Do not.
Dude. They have like those 3-inch spikes on the bottom. You
I
strap
had
them
no
on your
idea
feet.
you were going this way, and I was going to tell the story that there's 2 women that live across the street from me.
And they just walk with spike shoes.
And one of them was sitting out with the dog in a chair on a little like elevated dog bed, while the other one stomped around the yard last weekend. And I was like, oh my God, she is wasting her time. That is literally something you see in like the Sky Mall magazine that's like not a fix at all. So
can't-
you went and bought that. By the way, you have a massive yard. Like
Massive.
if you had a 20 square foot yard, that might. Well, first off, we just talked about how the plugs are the only way to do it, so it'll never work.
I told him that.
I get it. But then I thought to myself, I'm going to be in this yard for hours. Hours. Picking up shit, doing stuff, milling around. Dude, I bought these spike shoes.
Oh my God.
I bought those spike shoes. And I put them bitches on and I wore them the entire time I was picking up debris. I wore them everywhere. Everywhere. Then I walked around the front yard like an asshole, doing laps, slow circles, concentric circles coming in.
Good Lord.
Then I went on the backyard every day for lunch. I've made myself a sandwich and I've strapped on these stupid shoes and I've walked back and forth across the yard.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Then I have a hand grass seeder and I have walked around the yard in those spike shoes while seeding the yard.
Did you rake up the thatch?
Oh, I raked up all the thatch.
Okay.
Raked up the thatch. Then I went through, I got the lawnmower, which fuck me. I've left this stupid tractor back here.
Yeah.
All off season. And a bunch of rodents moved in.
Oh.
and they made a big old nest up inside there.
Nice.
And they chewed up everything they could find, including electrical wires. So I went to start this thing and I was like, man, battery's dead. Charged up the battery, got a little juice. Like, all right, it's turning, but it's not getting enough juice. So went and bought a new battery, stuck it in there, fired it up. I was like, it's still just spinning. Turns out they chewed through a wire that relays to the actuator of the starting motor that moves it up to engage it with the engine to turn it, to move it. So once I removed the shrouds and all the parts and all the stuff and finally got in there, I found the wire that they had chewed, had to splice it, spit it together, get it back together with some electrical tape. Then I had to go in and jiggle the actuator until it finally started working again. I actually fixed this fucking thing. It took hours wearing spike shoes, moving around, stomping. I have worn spike shoes in my yard for probably 12 hours minimum.
For nothing.
I don't know if it's for nothing. We're about to find out.
We know.
No, I
No,
get
we
it.
know.
I get it.
I know you know more than anyone else, so you're going to do it anyway, but we know that they don't work.
We're about to find out if it's not just walking around the yard, but like actively doing shit. As I seeded the yard wearing them, every time I water the yard, I'm wearing them. I have poked more holes in this yard. Granted, not plugs, shitty little holes, but I probably have about a week's worth of treading around this yard.
Best
picking
case
up debris.
scenario, it works, and then you see every spot that you didn't step.
That's the worst. When you walk, do you realize how wide your gate is?
Oh, yeah.
And you only have 2 feet, and there's only like 8 spikes. It is the most inefficient design I've ever. As soon as I got them, I go, well, this is a losing battle. I feel like fucking Sisyphus rolling that ball
Yeah.
up the hill every day, and then at the end of the day, it goes, you're back at the beginning,
Yep.
bitch. That's how I have felt. But there has been certain times here in the last like 2 days where I'm walking around going, looks like this area has been pretty beaten up.
You better hope it doesn't work.
Because then I'll be walking out here all the I'll
Yeah.
be Sisyphus.
Well, then you'll be like, great. 1/8 of my yard looks done, and by 1/8, it's just random patches that I've walked in.
Look, I gave it my all. I couldn't spend the $400
You
on the
can
machine
rent
I
one of
used
those
once.
machines.
You can. That's absolutely right. You can. And I thought about that, and then I thought, no.
No, I'll do what I know doesn't work, and I'll do it that way. I'll
That's-
show those guys.
Literally my biggest fear. You may be right, but I have put in
Been hanging out with Dave too much.
a yeoman's effort. I've really been out here working.
He's gonna have a awesome green path
Yeah,
from the debris pile to the solar
that's
stove.
right. Yeah.
You will know exactly where the debris was and where the solar stove is. It will look pretty damn good. I tried it. I gave it my all. Look.
I'd say let's check back in on this, but I already know how this movie ends.
You really should just do this shit in the fall.
Well, I'm going to do it then too. I got the spikes. I now own them.
That shit is for literally if you live in the city and your yard is half the size of the pallet house and you can
Easily
stomp it out.
No, I have an acre.
Yeah.
Just stomping an acre.
Oh, Lord. I was going to mock those women.
You can and you should. But my thought was, they're not putting in enough time.
So were you heel to toeing it?
No. Because I'm carrying stuff. I'm doing
No,
stuff.
when
I
you, when
can't-
you had to do the
Oh, like-
rounds of the front yard,
Oh, dude, I was like so petrified that my neighbors would see me.
you were heel toeing it.
Yeah. I was like keeping them close. I wasn't heel toeing like exact, but I was taking half strides.
That's
all
what the,
around
that's what the
yard.
girl was. She was it looked like she was marching in place, taking tiny little steps.
It is horrible.
Were you pretending you're on the phone or something?
No, I was just listening to a podcast. Like every other asshole.
Looking like an idiot. Just eating a sandwich, walking in circles.
Well, the backyard, that's my private space.
With
Yes,
this
I
long
was
sleeve shirt.
Yeah.
eating a sandwich. No. In the backyard, I was shirtless because spring break's coming. I was trying to get a little bit of sun. It's 65 degrees, but the sun's out, and I'm shirtless walking around in these stomping shoes. And then I put back on my collared shirt and go back to work.
Oh, man. You're a special breed, dude.
I understand that.
Next time, just rent it.
Nah, it's lawn madness, dude. We're here. We're doing it. Spike shoes.
Dave, do you have somebody come do your yard?
I do now, yeah.
Yeah.
What's he doing? Just depositing vehicles and trash?
Does he have spiky shoes? Or is he one of those dumbasses with regular shoes?
He has a bunch of illegals that wear spiky shoes.
Yeah.
Like a whole herd of them.
Yeah.
Cranks it out in about 10 minutes.
He's got a horse trailer and it just unloads them.
I heard a buffalo in the Wild West.
They walk shoulder to shoulder across the yard
Yeah.
and then backward. Back
It looks
to
like a Civil War
perpendicular.
battle.
Yeah.
And he drops them back at 7-Eleven. And
Yeah.
Nice, but all spike shoes.
Oh, all.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. But do they have those core spike shoes or just the spikes? 'Cause the core spike shoes, I hear, is where it's at.
So I used to rent a core aerator that you
Yeah.
walk behind, and
My neighbor has one he loans me.
I felt like that thing was giving me carpal tunnel syndrome.
Dude, that thing is a workout.
Yeah, it kicked my ass.
Yeah.
After like the third year, I'm like, fuck this.
I'm going to put this in the pro box for spike shoes. No carpal tunnel.
No, now I hire a guy.
Yeah.
Who has a machine that does an even better job than that walk behind because his thing weighs a ton.
Yeah.
And the one that I rented weighed 200 pounds or whatever.
Granted, mine's not going to look as good. But I also am just half-assing it. Like, I'm putting in the minimum amount of effort. Like, the sticks had to come up. The huge bonfire had to happen. But Troy, I'm with you. My embers, or like my ash, is piled.
Yeah.
It got to the point where I was having to go in and just create air spots.
Me too. I was poking holes in the.
Yeah, at the bottom, so
Yeah.
it would at least burn it. Like, it was unbelievable. Plus, I had all this wood we chopped last year that I can't burn in the
Yeah.
house. So I was just throwing those logs in. It was a hell of a bonfire for a whole day.
Yeah. I had some decent sized limbs and I would like break up all the tiny little pieces, throw them in because I just have the standard solo stove. So it's not that big of a mouth on it. Then I had my like chop saw out and I was like cross cutting the wood into like, 10-inch, 12-inch pieces. So it fit
Oh,
easily.
perfect. So you were actually chopping wood too.
Yeah.
You were doing work.
Dude, that thing, I fired that thing up at noon and I think it rolled until 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that was basically, yeah. In fact, after it all ended, I got to have that glorious moment of like, I think I'm going to sit down and have a beer. And
Yeah.
I sat by the fire and I was like, I'm getting sitting here like a man. My spike shoes sitting next to me. Just being, my wife came home, saw my little spike shoes filled with gumballs and mud. Probably not the best.
Yeah, did you have to stop every like 30 paces and
Unstick 'em? Yeah.
rake out a bunch of dirt from them?
No, you don't rake it out. I just stomp them because this company, whatever Chinese brand it is, said that they will send me new spikes if I bend them.
How turned on was she when she saw those shoes?
I don't understand how we define turned on. Did I get laid? No.
Did she call you a fucking moron?
No.
Oh.
So I'm somewhere in between there.
Yeah.
Not called a moron, not got laid. She does make little comments now that you mention it. She'll be like, "You gonna go put on your spike shoes?" Actually, yeah, that sucks. She has been
Now
making.
that I say it out loud in this microphone, it does sound kind of.
Honestly, there's a lot of moments where I don't realize until I get on this microphone, and then like I hear it come out of my mouth, and I go, "Oh,
Like the guy hitting on you at the gym.
yeah." Like that never occurred to
Yeah.
me. Like no, just broing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has been making little. You got your spike shoes.
I mean, we've all
coming?"
been at the gym and had guys come up and say, "Hey, do you have hair?" Classic icebreaker.
And I said, "Where?"
Yeah. Want to find out, big boy?
He did.
The hardwood floors don't match the curtain.
It's carpet and the drapes.
For you, maybe.
Oh, what the actual fuck? Should have never brought up the spike shoes. It's just March Madness. I was thinking about grass. Long story.
So you're still gonna fight to have a nice yard.
I know I'll never have a nice yard. I just won't. My yard's full of clover.
Well, until you have irrigation, it's almost impossible.
I got irrigation today.
New sprinklers.
No, my daughter was like, "I need money," and I was like, "Oh." What would you think about watering?
Put on
the-
these spike shoes and go
Yeah.
water the lawn.
Yeah. So she's actually going to do that for $5 a day for the next 13 days.
Nice.
Yeah, while that seed germinates. I figure that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I rounded up. I said, I'll give you a full 75.
Nice.
Because my ass has been, I'm famous for coming out in the middle of the night
Yeah.
and just doing it. But it takes a damn hour.
Oh yeah.
You could have bought 4 sprinklers for $75.
Yeah.
I've bought many sprinklers and many timers and all these things.
Hoses.
They all die.
My thing with it was I would have a hose in the front yard and a hose in the back, and I'd have to move them. Like each sprinkler would have to go in like 4 different places.
Right.
So over 2 or 3 hours, I'm running out there, getting wet, moving sprinklers around.
Yeah, I'd gotten to the point I had one of these systems that had 4 barrels coming off of it.
Yeah.
And then I had 4 sprinklers in the yard, and I'd still have to move them just to get them to go around. But then that ignored the front yard.
Yeah.
So I just bought another big hose for the front yard, and now I'm just going to pay the kid $75. That's when I came down to 13 days.
I'm assuming you have irrigation, Dave.
I do, but I abandoned it. More or less.
Really?
Yeah. It was, my yard had all these islands and crazy, because it's from the 70s.
Yeah.
And when I bought it, it hadn't been taken care of in 20 years. So I'm like, oh, sweet, I have irrigation. And we cleared out our whole, like, any overgrowth, whatever. We just left trees and grass. And so I set up, I turn on the irrigation, and it's spraying
Swiss cheese.
spraying like this one little 10 by 10 foot square.
Yeah.
But nailed it there.
And then there's another one 30 feet away.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I called somebody who handles that. I'm like, hey man, I've got it all laid out. How much to like make it actually cover the grass? And he's like, oh, like $5,000. And
Yeah.
This was 10 years ago. And I'm like,
Because it all needed to be redone, basically.
Yeah. So I'm like,
So you didn't do it?
no,
And now what would it cost you?
$10,000.
So what do you do? The hoses and move the sprinklers around and all that?
Yeah, I really just do that when it's,
When it's
Germinating.
Yeah, when you first put it down.
I only have a yard guy because the neighbors on either side of me
Have great yards.
perfect yards.
Yeah.
Because I normally don't give a fuck.
So you
but-
just need to have an average yard.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on a corner, so like my neighbor's yard, like he has a ton of trees, and he has a nice, well kept yard, but it's not like doesn't have that carpet of green grass that butts up to where mine isn't perfect.
Yeah, so you see the awkward
Yeah, yeah.
line.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was I would be fine if everyone just had a slightly below average yard
Yeah.
like mine, but at least 2 out of every 3 houses have the perfect emerald green shag carpet.
Those
I'm like,
fuckers.
God damn
I hate those people.
it. Yeah.
I mean, it looks good, but like most of the time, like you're not using it, and it costs a fortune to.
Plus, even like I like to mow my yard, and I've got a material collector, and plush grass fills it up in a
Yeah.
second.
Oh, you actually collect? You don't just
Yeah, I have a awesome. I don't even have to get off the tractor. I just back up to my pile, push a button, and it dumps it.
Oh, that's
Nice.
actually cool. It's the pulling out that matters. That's the worst part.
Pulling out is the worst.
I hate pulling out. Anything.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Pulling out's the worst. Pussy, campers, lawn clippings.
Yeah.
Pulling out's the worst part. Putting in's the best. Boats. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I can't think of anything that pulling out's the better situation. Margaritas. There it is. And I don't even like margaritas. So you know what? I'm out.
Pulling out a
When you pull the blender out,
Oh.
it's a better situation.
Gotcha.
But even then, I don't want it. No, pulling out sucks. I can't think of a situation where pulling out's the worst. We're the best.
Yeah.
We don't have an episode name, do we?
No.
There's something about pulling out.
Or spiky shoes.
Oh, yeah, that's better. Spike shoes for the win.
Spike shoes madness.
Oh, thanks, Troy. That's why I have you here.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, you're the best. Spike shoes, man.
Glad I finally contributed.
You realize? I feel like the majority of the names lately have been coming out of your mouth.
Maybe. Dude, you're up big already.
Oh yeah, this was a lock. I was just trying to help out my boy.
Yeah.
Just derailed the podcast for a couple minutes there.
Nice.
But it was writing itself at the time because it was deli time. So the question is now at 124, do we shut it down or do we move on?
The answer is always yes.
Well, we're going to be throwing up some doubles soon, right?
Oh, yeah. Shut it down. Shut it down. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to March Madness. Something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good luck with your pools, with your brackets.
Yeah, I hope everyone picks the right person. My vote will be on the Arizona Wildcats, depending on how the next 2 games go for them.
It's weird seeing all the typical teams not doing well. Like, you see like some SEC teams kicking ass. You're like, huh?
Yeah, we'll see. This is going to be an interesting year. But every year's an interesting year in the March Madness.
Yep.
The SEC got smart on the NIL
Yes.
payouts. And then teams that stayed good, like Duke, they were doing NIL before it was cool. I mean,
Yeah.
legal. So it's no change for them.
I love a North
Yeah,
Carolina.
but don't.
hate.
I was gonna say you can't act like UNC wasn't doing shady shit.
UNC's never done shady shit outside
No.
of shooting Jordan's dad. What?
Huh?
Let that one sit.
Yeah.
Dave. All right, guys. Thank you guys
Yeah.
so much for tuning in. We certainly do appreciate the support. If you haven't had a chance to get a mortgage and you live in Virginia or Georgia, head over to screendoormortgage.com. Jimmy will take care of you. You don't want this to be a stressful situation. It already took long enough to find the right house. Finding the right mortgage should be easy. Screen Door Mortgage can help you with that. He'll explain all the ins and outs. Screen Door Mortgage.
That's a good one.
It's actually a good plug.
That sounded pretty professional.
Yeah, I liked that one. And if you need a pair of sunglasses, because Lord knows spring break is on the horizon, and summer's just behind that, head over to Nectar Sunglasses. Get yourself a pair of polarized sunglasses for a very reasonable price. You want to make it more reasonable? How about we make it a great price? Drop ITPH in the coupon code. Now you just got 20% off.
Bam.
That's a pretty good fucking deal.
Oh, I found something I like. I like to pull out a pair of nectars from the packaging.
Oh, dude, it's the best.
It is?
Yeah.
It is the
So
best.
there's one.
They have good packaging.
Yep. One good pull out.
Oh, yes.
That could be the name.
One good pull out? No, we can't let the name be the plug. But that should be their new thing. One good pull. Nectar Sunglasses. One good pull out.
The only good pullout.
The only good pull out. Don't leave them in too long. Nectar Sunglasses. They're good at soaking.
Have your friend move it around a little.
They pay us so little that we can say whatever the
Yeah.
fuck we want.
Yep.
If you haven't had a chance to rate or review, please do so. Troy would love it. Now that Troy's gone, I'm going to bring up the Venmo.
At Inside the Pallet House.
He was back in time. That is a pro. I love it. If you have a topic, send it over to insidethepallethouse@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. What's on your mind, what you're thinking about, what you're talking about. And if you get an opportunity to Cincinnati swap somebody, it's real easy. You just grab their phone, sign them up for the podcast. They're always asking you, what podcast do you listen to? Stop saying fucking Smartless.
Yeah.
Sign them up. Inside the Ballot House. Better podcast. We're just
For
not as
sure.
famous. You know it's true.
That one guy's not even funny.
The one guy's not, but 2 are.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
Pull out drawers, number 2. In the kitchen.
That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
I like soft closed doors better.
That's a good feeling.
It is.